Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel, Off Grid Investor. This is Dolph. So, in this video, we're going to talk about how the market did today, and I would like to mention about six best stock to own for 2021. So, stay till the end of the video. Yeah. So, what happened to the market today? So, yes, let's take a look at that. Today, the S&P 500 shed 55.42 points, or they almost like 1.5% down today. And the people say today's was the one of the the worst day since November last year. So like within the 2 months, I think the market went down the most today. The Nasdaq also declined 1.47%. The stock market has continued to concern over the COVID-19 virus, not just the U.S. but the globally. Also the U.K. news in the morning that wasn't very helpful. The British Prime Minister, the Boris Johnson, he began the national lockdown Monday, ordering the British people to stay home until the mid-February because of higher infection rates caused by the new variant. So to speak, the mutant of the coronavirus. And as of today, all the schools and the non-essential shops are to shut down, across the England, and the people have been, told to only leave their homes if necessary. The imposition of a third national lockdown came after the government's chief medical officer warned more contagious strain was spreading quickly across the country, and that led all this, the people in panic, and the new some of the hospital risk being overwhelmed within 3 weeks, and they said if the restriction weren't put in place, this will get much the worse, they said. So there are now like more COVID-19 patient in the hospital than at the heights of the pandemic in the spring. And they also said the fight against the coronavirus has reached the critical phase. So that it is clear that we need to do more together to bring this new virus under control. And I'm mentioning all this because not only because of UK, but and all the other countries like in Europe and Asia, they are experiencing like terrible situation right now, and this may reflect the U.S. very soon too. Like in the U.S. here in the U.S., the pandemic may continue to limit major public events and the dining and at the restaurants in the very near future. This will potentially hurt the demand for products like or the company like a CocaCola, airline stocks, and other groups. Another group that that have been like hard hit by the pandemic, or fell as well as like the American airline, which fell like 4.1% today. It sits at $15 right now, and the Delta airline losing the 3.7%. Hotel operators are also retreated, with the Hilton Holdings shedding 3.4%. It sits at $107 right now. The Marriott International losing the 5.4%. It sits at the 124. So one stock that that went up today from all the the other stocks that I previously mentioned in this channel was Tesla. So let's take a look at that. Tesla, yes, it did go up today. The Tesla stock rose 3.4% to, it sits at right now the 729.77 cents. So after the the saying they have delivered the record 499,550. The car delivered. Actually, did miss when you think about it. Like when Elon Musk said, "Oh yeah, we did deliver 500,000 the cars, this year." But yeah, matter of fact, that it did miss a little bit, but just pretty much he rounded up the 500,000, and it did pretty much hit the record delivery. So that's what it drove the stock up today. And I also wanted to mention about the report that came out from the Federal Reserve Bank of Cleveland. The president, Loretta Mester, she said that even as the economy is on the path of recovery, it still will need the central bank support for the quite some time. She says the economy recovering longer term, while the facing near term challenges as vaccine are deployed to bring the coronavirus pandemic under control. She expects the recovery of to continue, but to be uneven in 2021. She also said in the near term, the current surge in the virus cases is likely to weigh on the activities in the winter, as the surge is managed through the social distancing and targeted shutdowns, even though the ones that are less severe than those the last spring. But assuming the most people are vaccinated by the third quarter of this year, she expects to see the strong pickup in the economic activity in the second half of this year, as the people and the business feel like it is safe to engage in work and business, such as yeah. So I wanted to mention about that. And now let's talk about the six best stock to own for 2021. So the first stock, you can probably guess already, it is Apple. Yes. So I do strongly believe this is still the Christmas rally stock that I would like to say. So I do believe it still has the more upsized for 2021. And in December, a report from the Morgan Stanley that came out and said that the Apple's iPhone business is doing well in China. The journal, the Street founder, the Jim Cramer, thinks the Tesla's inclusion in the S&P 500. It could also mean the buying opportunity for Apple, and I did mention about that in the previous video. And I'm still very bullish on the Apple with all that the Apple, the EV cars, the news came out and all that. I still believe the Apple will outperform in 2021. So it is one of my the favorite stocks for 2021. And the second stock is Disney, ticker symbol DIS. So all year in December, the Disney was the downgraded to market perform from the outperform. It's by the BMO capital analyst, the Daniel Salmon. Despite the bearish stance, the firm did raise the Disney's price target from 165 to 185. So I thought that was interesting. Despite the fact that they downgraded the stocks from outperform to market perform, but still the raising the price target. But you know what happened in the Disney's stock on December 11th? It's like the company announced tremendous upside of the streaming the subscribers. So the price went up a lot, and I do remember like day or 2 days before they announced that somebody placed like millions of dollars of on this the option. They placed the option. I've seen the articles the saying it was kind of unusual activity the option trend. And then of course like like 2 days later, the stock, the shot up, like that 14%, I do believe, and that was the record high, around the $176, as you can see right over here. Yeah. But I do believe that Disney will do well in 2021, and the company roughly tripled their the projection for the number of subscriber, the Disney Plus, which includes Hulu and ESPN and all these channels. You can just subscribe as well through the Disney Plus. The Hulu is, like, it is really getting really popular. Besides Disney. And by the way, the Hulu is not a publicly the traded company, so there is no like the stock price for the Hulu. But the Hulu is currently owned by Disney. So Disney owns like the 67% of the Hulu, and they do own, of course, the Comcast as well. And the company is now expected to have as many as like 350 million subscribers globally and across all its service within the 4 years. And when the company could be spending like the 16 billion on new shows and the movies, and to keep the subscriber signing up and engaging. And on the other hand, like Netflix, the ticker symbol NFLX, I'd like to mention about the Netflix because just for the comparison with the Disney, it ended its most recent quarter with like 195 million subscribers. So comparing to the Disney of like the 137, yeah, like the Netflix has little more the subscriber, but they're not I think Disney can easily catch that one up. Why am I saying that? Because the Netflix spends like 15 the billion on the contents last year. They spent 15 billion the last year, and opposed to the Disney spent Disney spent 16 billions, so almost the same, you know, but the Netflix, it took like 13 years for them to to bring that the subscribers, but in the matter of the couple of years, the Disney almost caught up with them, and so like the Netflix and Disney are the two the big the streaming company that I think it'll do well in 2021. So with that being said, AT&T or the HBO Max or the Comcast, they don't even come close to the Disney or Netflix in their like the plan of spending or the future, the projection of subscribers. So I do believe the Disney is one of the stocks that will outperform in 2021. And next stock I would like to talk about is Visa. And as you know, like pandemic really drove the people to spend the credit cards, and the revenue went up really high this year because like the people these days they can pretty much place all the credit cards, not like the plastic credit cards, traditional plastic credit cards. That I mean still people use that, but the younger generation, more and more the younger generation, they're uh, uh, being more comfortable to using putting all this the cards on their phone, and they just all they do is just swipe it, and so the credit cards, the company will definitely outperform in 2021. In December, the Wall Street founder Jim Cramer's colleague, the Lady William, on Mad Money, and he said the best time to buy Visa is Christmas Eve, and then the hold it for 35 days. So just to kind of verify that, I did go over like the 5 years chart and the 10 years chart, And it is true that every year around the at the end around the Christmas time, and if you bought the Visa or the Mastercard, the stocks, and hold it for like a couple of months, you will definitely have the gains. So that's the kind of the same theory that I still like the Visa for that matters. So if you buy now and hold it for a couple of months, I do strongly believe that the stock will go at least like the 10 or 15%. That's what I'm looking at. So as you see, the similar pattern is also been seen in the retailers. So if you look at the S&P retail ETFs, the display, this same kind of strong the seasonal patterns that occurs every year. And then as you can see, the 5 years chart over here, the stock went up more than 300% in the course of 5 years. So I do strongly believe the Visa will do well in 2021. And let's talk about the next stock. Next stock is one of the healthcare stock. It is ticker symbol UNH, United Health stock. And the last week, the Forbes they reported that the United Health UNH stock has more room for growth due to the better than expected earning growth in second quarter and third quarter, as deferment of elective surgeries due to the pandemic translated into lower medical expenses for the company. And as you know, like the people talk about, all these analysts, the saying, the health sector is the one of the sector that will outperform in 2021. And I do strongly agree that especially under the Biden administration, the healthcare stock will do well, because you know how it was in Obama's like the administration, all this the health the healthcare stock did very well. So with that same theory, under Biden, I think the healthcare stock is one sector that it will outperform in 2021. So that's with that the theory. I like the United Healthcare the stock. And then let's talk about the next stock. Next stock is CocaCola. Ticker symbol KO. So why Coca-Cola? So like it is one. The people say it is one of the best the recovering stock to own. Not like like all this the travel stock or airline stock, which you have no idea when they're gonna really recover with all this the depth and all that. But as you know, the Coca-Cola has a very strong the foundation in the company, and their uh, uh, the cash balance is very healthy. So among the Barron's top 10 favorite stock for 2021, the Coca-Cola is one of them. And Coca-Cola could generate a double-digit profit, the growth when the global economy recovers and become a must-own consumer stock. That's by the Barron's, they reported. So, and I do strongly believe the Coca-Cola will nicely recover and even go, higher than the all-time high, which it was like the around $60 range. Right now it is $52. So it is a very safe stock to purchase, and it is. I mean, it doesn't grow that high, fast, or the high growth stock, but it is very safe stock to own, and it is still outperforms better than TLT, or all this the fund the funds like the stock or dividend stock so. I mean, people think the Coca-Cola is it is one of the the best the dividend stocks to own as well. So I mean, I do strongly believes the Coca-Cola is the one of the best stock to own in 2021. And now let's talk about the last stock. It is among the all the six out of all this the six stocks that I just talked about. It is one of my favorite stock. I did mention the Goldman Sachs, the before, but it is one of the one of my favorite stocks to own. Um, so it is a bank stock, but it is investment bank stock. So they do the company highly they invested in a lot of the growth the company and so that's why if you look at the yearly chart. The before the pandemic, price was like around 247, 245. The price range. Now it's set to 265. So it well um, uh, recovered. The well, and it is uh, more. The upsides that I can definitely see. And recently, the Goldman Sachs, for example, like they purchased the stake of Echelon Fitness, it's a maker of like exercise machine. As more people like work out, at home among the pandemic, like you know, s- you know, those are the companies, the Goldman Sachs, they do invest in it. So that's why, even though it is a bank stock, it did outperform all the other, the bank stocks, like a J.P. Morgan or the Bank of America, in that matter of sense, and the Barclays very bullish on the bank stock in 2021. And the analyst Joseph Terranova on CNBC Halftime Report also picks the Goldman Sachs as the 2021 play. And the Benzinga's top upgrades includes the Goldman stock, which has the EPS of $9.68. The compared to the year ago quarter of EPS of $4.79. That's like the double, I would say. So the current stock price, the performance of the Goldman Sachs, it shows the all-time high of the 52 weeks high of 265 right now. That's where it is at. But if you look at the 5 years chart, the March of 2018, it did go up and reached $275 point. So it is almost quite there. Like it is said like right now it is 265. So uh, I wouldn't be surprised that if the price go up and try to retest that the price range in 2021. So I do highly recommend. But it is all these the stocks that I just mentioned. It is not it is not the financial the recommendation. So please do your diligent work and do research and do invest carefully. And make your own decision. So with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed my pick of the stocks of for the 2021. So on the comment below, please let me know, like, and see like which one is out of all these six stocks that I just mentioned, which is you may think it is the good stocks to own for the 2021. So with that being said, thank you all very much for listening to me, and I'll see you all next time in the next video. Thank you.